friends and foes, freaks and geeks, suplexers and suplexees. I know you're wondering, why is this guy back before a week's up? Usually this guy don't come back till a month, 2 months. But, I've been watching a lot of people do their predictions videos, and usually I don't dive into that stuff. I want to go in excuse me, with my own opinions, my own thoughts, but I wanted to jump into the fun. Like I said, I've seen a lot of videos, but I don't think anyone has my list on either AEW, Double or Nothing, or Kings and Queens of the Ring. I'm pretty divided on several matches that the community seems to be pretty certain on, and we'll get into that. And lately I was just watching the AEW Arcade podcast. AEW Unrestricted had Evil Uno and Chugs, Adam Cole on. They are the hosts of the AEW Arcade podcast. They have several episodes up already. One with Claudio Castagnoli, talking League of Legends and Warhammer and stuff like that. So for my fellow nerdy wrestling fans, we're nerdy and then a subsect of nerdy. For those who are into this video game sphere, definitely check that out. Very interesting stuff. So with that being said, like I said, this video is this podcast, this broadcast to you is going to be short, no fuss, no muss, no intro, no outro, just a straight message from me to the people. I was going to do a video, but I suppose I'll get the room around here and do some stuff for you this summer. I want you to have some great content to look forward to, maybe some outdoor videos and stuff like that. Get into the swing of things and really give you guys some awesome content to look forward to this summer. But I did want to cover AEW Double or Nothing and King and Queens of the Ring, both happening this weekend. By the time you hear this podcast, King and Queens of the Ring will probably already have taken place or may just be taking place very late in the evening, 2 a.m. right now, and we get up 1 p.m. in the morning, 1 p.m. in the morning over there in Saudi Arabia. They're going to be doing the Kings and Queens of the Ring. So you know what, we might as well just jump right into my predictions and thoughts on that one, because I do got some strong ones on that one that not everybody has. So let's talk about her. The Intercontinental Championship match. We got Sami Zayn versus Bronson Reed versus Chad Gable. You've seen that story on that. Chad Gable's falling out with the Alpha Academy, maybe soon be going with the Creed brothers in a new faction or an updated form. Me personally, I was hoping ultimately to merge Alpha Academy and Chase University into one group involving the Creed brothers, actually, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. But that's okay. Not everything goes according to my ideas, and that's cool. And that's why I do this too, because I'm not afraid to take the L's on here. I come out with a strong opinion that maybe not some others have. I've been wrong many times. I've been right sometimes. So that's basically why I do this, just to keep up with myself, basically. See what I was getting right, see what I was getting wrong, things like that. But Bronson Reed, he's the odd man out in this one. But definitely going to throw these guys around for sure. In this match, I got Sami Zayn retaining. Definitely keep a strong line on the Intercontinental Championship title with him. I do believe that is what's going to happen. Next match up here, we had Lyra Valkyria versus either Bianca Belair and Nia Jax. And as we know tonight, Nia Jax beat Bianca Belair, so it will be Lyra Valkyria versus Nia Jax. You know, the story they were telling with Bianca and the bad knee, I think she would have beat her, Nia Jax, if she didn't have the bad knee. She did also get a power bomb off the top rope, top turnbuckle, from Nia Jax in that match, showing off her strength. But like I said, I was kind of disappointed we didn't see Bianca Belair butt heads with Jade, but that's probably for the better. Like I said on the last episode, if you haven't listened, do check that out. It's best for that feud to heat up, even if it's just, rivalry competition between two friends at first. Hopefully that's what it is. In this match, I have Lyra Valkyria beating Nia Jax. This is going to be her first David and Goliath type beat. She's definitely going to take that over, and maybe she faces Becky Lynch, and we see that on the main roster. This will be kind of spoiling what one of the matches here, but next up we have Gunther versus Randy Orton or Tama Tonga, which as we know as of tonight, it was Randy Orton over Tama Tonga, so it is Gunther versus Randy Orton. And me, I'm taking Gunther over this one. They want to, I feel like, you do lose that Intercontinental title. Like I said, you're going to keep that strong on Sami Zayn, and then you want to give Gunther something to do. I think this was the whole point of him passing that torch down to go up. Whether he wins that match or not, that's undecided. I do have Gunther going over on Randy Orton in this one. I know a lot of people want to see that title match take place in Berlin, but I don't know. Not every story happens to the exact T that we think it's going to happen, so I think this is Gunther's time right here. And I know it's beyond time for Randy Orton to become king of the ring, but I don't think it would do the same for him that carrying that crown around that it would for Gunther. I don't think he's going to wear the crown at all, but I think he's going to have, what's-his-face carry the crown around for him for sure. Until he gets tired of that. Spoiler alert. Next up is the match I've already spoiled. Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan. I have Becky Lynch retaining on this one. A lot of people say she's gone with the contract coming up and whatnot, the different things you hear. I think she's going to stick around for a while. I definitely think she's going to retain here. I definitely think the route to go is Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch at a SummerSlam event. I think that's tops. That's going to be an amazing SummerSlam match. And to top her off, we do have Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul. Logan Paul backed out of the deal that never really took place in the first place of being a double championship versus championship match. I seen that coming a mile away. He, at that time, never really said, I agree to have a championship versus championship match. Although I kind of wish they would have pushed the end there a little bit further, like where Cody would have argued a little bit more at that point in time, and then it would have turned around and hey, it's the contract's ironclad or whatever. Okay, I gotta do this match, whatever, but you're a shyster. That type of beat, but my thing is, it would have been nice to find out right then and there that it wasn't championship versus champion. It would be nice to know that. Not right then and there, but right before the match, and you don't have time to really, I don't know, whatever. But that's King and Queen of the Ring. I do believe that's going to be a solid event. Now let's talk about AEW Double or Nothing. AEW Double or Nothing. I won't get super involved in these matches here, but I do want to cover them. But for sake of time, I won't get too involved. Trent Beretta versus Orange Cassidy in a straight up match. I do believe Orange Cassidy is going to take a W on this one. But I do believe there's going to be plenty of shenanigans and some Don Fallis interference, especially after the end. They're gonna wreck them. But moving on, Roderick Strong versus Will Ospreay, which will be an amazing match. I think Will Ospreay wins. I think they put the title on him. I think that would move Roderick Strong up into a trios, because I do believe that the which is a problem I could jump into is with Ring of Honor. Like, we have champions that aren't on the weekly broadcast, whether you call that television or whether you call that streaming. Now that's the problem, you know. Yeah, sorry about that, but yeah, like I said, that's the problem with Ring of Honor is we got these champions, and I do believe that, you know, Kyle Fletcher is the only champion that, well, Undisputed Kingdom have been coming around for a while, but that's where I'm coming at with this. I think they're going to drop the titles and maybe go for trios. But we got all these champions. Kyle Fletcher's the only one that actively, and that's only just recently, comes around and defends the title. You know, love him. But Mark Briscoe won the title, hasn't been around since. I understand taking some time off, be with the family, celebrate that victory for sure. Yeah, that's the and then you got the pure champion Wheeler Yuta. I do believe with an injury, he hasn't been around, understandably, so that title hasn't been on TV for a long time. And the trios titles themselves, I'd like to see more thought on those title stories moving forward. That's another thing to get into, but it seems like the only time it really matters is right around the time we get a pay-per-view, and they're kind of few and far between with Ring of Honor anymore. But I digest with the Will Ospreay title. I think well, hopefully that puts him on TV for Ring of Honor more often. Somebody else that will be a champion on at least weekly stuff. At least we see them on TV, not necessarily defended every time. But moving up, we got Jon Moxley versus Konosuke Takeshita in an exhibition match. You know, even though it's an exhibition match, I got Jon Moxley on this one. Then we got the Bang Bang Gang versus the Death Triangle, one of my favorites. But I gotta go with my gut on this one. I got the Bang Bang Gang retaining the titles on this one, holding all that gold still. Then we got Adam Copeland versus Malachi Black in a barbed wire steel cage match. This is going to be freaking excellent. And as much as I want Malachi Black to win, I also got to go with my gut on this one and my thoughts that the TNT Championship has been thrown around for a while, and it's got to stay, just like that Intercontinental. This one's got to stay on the waist of Adam Copeland. But that's not to say Adam Copeland won't be broken in this match. That's all I gotta say about that. Next on here, you could call it the main event or whatever, but this is how I have it on here, is Team AEW versus the Elite. This is another one that I'm setting my ways on. The community is pretty much divided that AEW would or should win this one. I've even gone as much as to hear, you know, if they kind of pretty much start out with a anarchy in the arena, where do they go from there? Well, let me tell you, blood and freaking guts is where they go from there. I think that'd be swell. I think that the A-Team AEW is broken and held together with duct tape at this point. The Young Bucks are going to continue their forward momentum from beating FTR here just recently. They're going to go into that. They're going to win this one. They're going to become even bigger pricks. They're going to completely take over the program even more. There's going to be a reason for there to be a totally healthy super team of AEW talent that are going to take back AEW in a blood and guts match. Maybe that'll happen at All In. Who knows? I maybe think that the conclusion. I don't think it'll ever. Well, not ever, but I don't think it'll conclude at All In either. But I think there's going to be a setup for a huge match as well there, in some sort of capacity, whether it's team on team or captain versus captain or something. That story is going to conclude. That story is going to continue at All In. Then, next up, we have the women's title on the line. Toni Storm versus Serena Deeb. I'm going with everyone on this one. This is a Toni Storm match. And then next up, we have the main event. Swerve Strickland versus Christian Cage. I got Swerve Strickland on this one. He needs a strong title defense. So I think that's what we're going to see here. So, with that being said, AEW Double or that tongue ties me. AEW Double or Nothing and King and Queen of the Ring are in the books for being predicted. It's time for me to go to bed. Time for you to wake up and hear this. Let's see how I did on the card. I'll talk to you after this awesome Memorial Day weekend. I hope you guys have a fantastic Memorial Day weekend. I'll be back with a brand new episode covering my week's worth of wrestling intake and AEW Double or Nothing and Queens and Kings of the Ring after this weekend. Probably on a Wednesday. I'll release it, but I'll be reviewing both of those shows like I normally do. With a keep that new segment, keep her to delete it, and of course a pick 6. So with that being said, like I said, enjoy your weekend, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Peace out.